Hi there, my name is Logan Jenke. This is going to be Firewalls 101. This is going to just be a beginner guide to it, as if I go anything deeper than that, it's probably going to be 2 hours for this presentation. Now we'll start off with what is a firewall. Firewall is your system's barrier against untrusted traffic. This could be at home or a business. An example of this could be like someone prodding your firewall with a Nmap scan. I'm going to be trying to show this later in the video. Um, they're also made to look through traffic and block specific traffic based on certain set rules, specifically by your administrator if you're at a business, let's say. So this is a very simple example of a firewall. You got your internet, you got your attackers, you got a firewall, and your private network. So this is one of typically a home. So your firewall is going to be your main line of protection against these hackers. So types of firewalls in the wild packet filtering firewalls filters your traffic into different traits, ports, protocols, and IPs. Sorry. Um, then we got stateful inspection firewalls. These are going to be very similar to packet filtering, but they look at all active connections, not just certain ones. Uh, it inspects and analyzes data packets exchanged during communications, scanning for data risk and or unauthorized behavior on against the firewall. Next, we got proxy firewalls. This can be your entrance to your network. Um, they will prevent a direct connection uh, from the outside the network. Though this might affect your rate of traffic being let in. So it could cause you to be slow or have a slower internet. Next generation firewalls. This will combine traditional firewalls like packet filtering. Uh, yeah, well, that is right there, and stateful inspection with others to make better decisions on what traffic to allow. This will mainly block is mainly used to block malware and other types of higher attacks that these other types of firewalls will not be able to. How firewalls work simplified. So first off is they're going to be packet capturing. Firewalls capture data packets that as they travel through a network, intercepting traffic that enters or exits a protected network zone. So bottom left here, you can kind of see a packet capture of this is just of a simple Nmap scan that I did on uh, an IP, uh, not a public one of mine. And then we got packet filtering. Each capture packet is examined by the firewall, which checks various attributes. This includes source and destination IP addresses, source and destination port numbers, and protocol types. So TCP and UDP, we can kind of see some of that right there. TCP right there. There's DNS, ARP. These attributes are compared against predefined rules that are set up and policies to determine how the package should be handled. Uh, then we got rule sets. So these rule sets are going to be your your company. This is going to be more a company thing. You can set these up at home too, but your network administrators configure the firewall with rule sets that define what types of traffic are allowed or blocked. Rule sets can be highly specific IPs, ports, protocols, uh, or they can be more general set of ports and block them. Then we got stateful inspections. Modern firewalls use stateful inspections, which involves monitoring the state of active networks. So just like what I discussed before, these go beyond simple packet filtering and allow the firewall to understand the context of the network traffic that it is encountering. And then you got logging. Firewalls often log information about packets they suspect. These logs include details uh, about allowed or denied packets and specified rules that were matched, timestamps, and other relevant information. Now, there's two types. There's more, but these are the main general types: hardware and software firewalls. Hardware firewalls are a physical device such as a server or a person's or your router. Um, these are going to be filtering any traffic going to your devices that are on your network, as we saw in the pictures that very simple picture before. Uh, software firewalls on the other hand are programs that should become installed on some devices. Uh, most devices now do have a sort of firewalls installed on them already, though you can pay monthly for additional ones on your system to protect it even more. So some benefits and disadvantages of hardware firewalls are that they will cover an entire network. These can help regulate parts of the network and even isolate them if needed if something arises if an attack happens. Think of this as a hard barrier against an intrusion. The cost will be for starting it will be higher um, compared to its counterpart, a software firewall. But this is going to be more for a business or a company that's already set up, so they should be able to pay for it. Next is going to be software firewalls. Software is going to be more beneficial to an individual as they will be able to protect their phones and laptops and desktops a lot easier. And it's going to be a little bit cheaper on the startup. Uh, but once it gets compromised, it could lead to your entire network becoming vulnerable. Uh, it mainly is, like I said, it's mainly used personal use, and should never be used for larger businesses. And as I said, there is a month you can get some firewalls for monthly fees, but after a while, it could cost as much as a set a server set a setup being a server uh, could cost as much as that in the long run. So best practices. So hardening the firewall. So you want to make sure you harden your firewall and establish a firewall configuration plan. So you want to make sure your operating system security is updated and fortified, as if it's not, you could have a vulnerability uh, on your system, and this could cause a major problem with someone trying to break in or not break in, uh, penetrate it. Correct configuration. Uh, Again, this can correctly if you use correctly, you can avoid security vulnerabilities if you configure it right. Uh, Next, we got hardening the firewall again, or another side for it. Firewalls change management plan. So you want to make sure this is more for a company. Develop a structural plan for making firewalls configuration changes. You also want to define objectives and assess risk associated with policy changes. And then mitigation strategies. You want to make sure you create strategies to reduce and identify risks that might pop up on your system. Structure change. So involved with this is going to be involved in different network teams and a coordinated process. You want to maintain detailed audit trails for accountability. If something were to arise, if someone incorrectly manages the firewall. So mapping the firewall. Mapping out the firewall deployment. Carefully plan and deploy your firewall's infrastructure to maximize security and efficiency. Then we got zero trust security implementation. Firewalls play a crucial role in implementing the zero trust security model, which enforce strict access controls and continuous monitoring of the firewall. Access controls across network boundaries. So firewalls monitor and regulate access across networks boundaries, even in traditionally segmented networks. So gateway and device connectivity. Firewalls can sit at a network gateway, connecting multiple networks and connect isolated devices within a network. So network interface connection. When deploying a firewall, connect its network interface to both layers 2 and 3 of networks to establish more precise control. zone-based policy management. Use zones to simplify firewalls policies and customize them for granular control as needed. So just like as the above in different layers. Firewall management. Determine whether the firewall requires a dedicated management interface for efficient control and monitoring. Now, protecting the firewall. So this one is going to be a little bit difficult because every firewall is going to be different, but these are just some general ideas that you can use to put in your firewall. So disable and secure protocols. Take measures to disable and secure protocols that like Telnet and SMP, which are susceptible to exploitation. If SNMP is required for management, configure it securely to prevent unauthorized access. Configuration and database backups. Schedule regular and consistent backups of firewall configurations and databases. This can be very important, as if these backups, if your firewall does go down, this is going to be your safety net for anything that happens. Auditing and log transmission. Enable auditing of system changes on firewall to maintain accountability, and then transmit logs to an external firewall management solution for forensic analysis and reporting. Then for protecting the firewall again, stealth rule implementation. Implement a stealth rule in the firewall policy that makes the firewall less detectable during network scans, like an Nmap scan. This adds an extra layer of security by preventing potential attackers from identifying the firewall's presence. I'll try to show this in the example that's going to be coming up here at the end. Access limitations. Consider limiting access to the firewalls to specific trusted hosts or IP addresses. Restricting access enhances in the security posture and reduces the attack surface of your firewall. Vulnerability management. Continuously monitor firewalls vendors for information about known and emerging vulnerabilities. Stay up to date with patches, so updates. You want to make sure everything's updated. And remember that firewalls, like all software and hardware, are not immune. They're not immune to vulnerabilities. So people will always find a way in. So it's crucial to maintain regular attention to security maintenance. So audit the firewall. Firewalls rules must comply with internal and external security regulations. Unauthorized firewall configurations changes can lead to policy violations and non-compliance. Then you got regular security audits by network and security teams are essential to prevent unauthorized changes. So make sure no one changes anything that doesn't need to be changed. Security audits offer updates on necessary changes and warnings about potential risk. And critical times for security audits include new firewall installations, firewall migrations, and bulk configuration changes. So want to pay attention to when you have to, or if you need to do any of those when you have to change your firewall. So next we got blocking traffic and monitoring user access. So default traffic blocking. Block all traffic by default except for verified services. This will prevent any unnecessary traffic from trying to come into or attack your firewall. Control firewall access. So make sure nobody that doesn't have credentials can modify or manage the firewall. Then we got logging configuration changes. Make sure you have detailed logs of stuff that you change on your firewall. So if something happens, you can figure out what happened and change it back. And then user profile categorizations. Categorize users by access levels to efficiently manage these privileges. And then continuously monitor logs to detect unauthorized access and security breaches. And then update. This isn't just for firewalls. This is for anything. You always want to make sure you update your software on anything. So regular firewall updates, firewalls update, this is more for software. Firewall software updates and patches are released by vendors to address security issues and potential threats. So you always want to check that and make sure you can update them to the newest version. So no vulnerabilities, older vulnerabilities can threaten your system. Continuously secure. Frequent updates are essential to maintain network security and prevent vulnerabilities that threat actors could exploit. And then automated updates. Manually track updates can be ineffective given the evolving threat of landscape. Automation, like AI, could allow for scheduled firewall updates to reduce the risk of security breaches and ensuring consistent security and robustness. All right, so now I'm going to show you some examples of a firewall on how to evade a firewall, a simple firewall, I should say. All right, so this is going to be the start of our demo, or my demo, I should say, on how to evade a firewall. The way I'm going to do this is doing a simple decoy scan. So right here is a very simple decoy command for or scan from Nmap. So this is you do -d and then you select your IPs. So we're going to do 1.1.1.1 my IP right there, and then 2.2.2.2, and then we're going to scan at scanme.nmap.org. So when I do this, we should have 3 IPs pop up. This one, mine, and this other one. So let me start this, scan that, stop it, and then I just wanted to show you. Let me just scroll up there. There we go. So I just mainly want to show you that you are, this would help when trying to hide within the traffic or the confusion of a bunch of IPs, us trying to look at your network. So we wouldn't know, well, this one's kind of easy to figure out, but we wouldn't know if there's a bunch, which one to look at, because there's going to be too many to know which one's the actual one. And then again, as you can see, 1.1.1.1, my IP right there, and then 2.2.2. Now we can go even further with this if we do this command right here. So what this means is this is going to be 10 random IPs and then my own at the very end. So we will scan that again. Do that, stop it, stop. Again, I just want to try to show you what it's like. Yeah, this works. So this I accidentally clicked the number, but it should be, so it should go this way up. Let me do this. So we'll start off with this one right here. So we should have a total of 11 IPs. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The 11th one, of course, being myself. Now we can go make this even more confusing by, as you can see, I did this before, add another 5 random IPs right here. So let's try to send that one and see how confusing it can get. And do that. Let's go up to here. So we should have a total of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 IPs here. Total 16. So if I do this, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 IPs. So as you can see, all 16 of these, and then it would be kind of hard to find if I had an actual good IP, not just this Kali Linux IP. You'd be pretty hidden in this scan. All right, thank you for watching this video.